Hello again. Now this is the second part of our tribute to Francis, the first ever volunteer at the Northcote Heavy Horse Centre. You'll have read the first part, I hope, anyway. Now this is all about Francis and his tractor. Now it's all down to him, because if it wasn't for him I would never even have thought of asking, sort of begging for a tractor. I mean, we were a bit desperate. We were running two Ford Major tractors, big ugly blue ones, late 1950s, 4-cylinder diesel, unreliable, heavy, not easy to manoeuvre, no power steering. Apart from that, there were lovely things. One I'd bought from Mr. Kirk, the butcher from Skegness, for £400, and I was paying it in instalments. It had come off his farm just outside Skegness. It had been working for him. I brought it back on my two-wheel trailer behind the Land Rover. That's another story, because it is so heavy. I tipped the Land Rover. It was a Land Rover Safari, and loading it on the two-wheel trailer, I tipped the Land Rover. I reared it up in the air. Yeah, on two wheels. Tractor's so blinking heavy. Trailer was strong, mind, but anyway, as soon as the tractor was on the middle of the trailer, the Land Rover dropped to the ground again. It didn't do a lot of good. Anyway, that was Dennis Kirk. That's him, Dennis Kirk from Skegness. And he let me buy this tractor on tick. I'd a long time paid for it. I'd had it several years. I'd used it for some long distance haulage, actually. I'd been out to Horncastle collecting straw and hay with this thing, early in the morning, because I suppose it was insured. No tax or anything. Back lanes, leaving early in the morning so nobody saw me. But anyway, we needed something different, something more reliable. You couldn't expect Francis to drive this thing. I mean, he was collecting hay and straw for us from Mablethorpe, places like that, with the tractor. So we begged this tractor, and this is the story all about it. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're going to begin this story. It's a continuation of the tribute to Francis. It's from It's Rum Life, Book 4, Volume 1, Northcote, 1984 to 1998. This story from about 1994. Francis and the Tractor. One of the various jobs that Francis undertook was carting the manure waste from our horse buildings to the fields of local farmers. We badly needed a tractor to replace our aged and decrepit 1960s model Fordson Major. Francis persuaded me to write to all the local tractor dealers and ask for help. On the Christmas Eve of that year, the sales manager from a tractor dealer's in Sleaford telephoned. "I have your letter on my desk," he said, "and I do so want to help," he continued. "I've just traded in a little international tractor that would do you fine. I'm going to service it and make sure everything works, and then it will be on its way to you," he concluded. We were truly amazed, and good to his word, within the week this beautiful little machine was delivered, our Christmas gift. Francis loved that tractor, and all the next year he was its only driver. He collected hay from as far away as Mablethorpe, and moved all the stable yard manure to dumps in local farmers' fields. We have Francis to thank for giving his truly valuable time to helping with the horses at Northcote. Without his encouragement and prompting, we would never have had that little tractor, which is in fact still going strong today in 2015. As I mentioned in the other story about Francis, he was so unstinting in giving his valuable time, which we both knew was strictly limited. Tragically, as I mentioned before, Francis suffered a relapse of his dreadful illness and decided he could not continue working with the horses. After a further major operation, he spent more time at home with his wife. only to find that she herself contracted cancer within that year and died quite quickly. There we are, that's the end of our second special part of a tribute to Francis, the very first volunteer at Northcote Heavy Horse Centre. There we are, that was Francis and the Tractor. He was just one amazing man. So there we are. I hope if you like the story, please think about giving us a like and I can only think of register. Join the group. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything. It helps us to grow the group, and share with your friends. Okay, and then there's a Cracker Books link coming up next where you can download anything that Cracker Books publish for your own enjoyment any way you like. Have a good look at the website. Thanks for being with us today. Cheerio.